There are spoilers in this episode. We're going to talk
Spoiler
spoilers.
alert!
Spoiler alert. I'm so sorry. Welcome to the Biscuits and Blurays podcast, where we watch Blu-rays and take the biscuit. I'm your host, James, and this week I'm joined once again by Jade Eaton. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Oh, it's great to be back.
You joined the podcast for a Little Mermaid episode. It was quite spontaneous that day.
It was.
Yeah. And you know what? That was good. That was a good episode, I thought.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
But you were always scheduled in for this one.
Oh yeah,
Straight
100%. Yeah.
Obviously, because we've been doing the Evil Dead movies, it all leads to this.
It does.
Evil Dead Rise.
I cannot explain just how much I love this film.
Just a little bit of backstory about me and you. We were doing a show. This came out in show week.
It did, didn't it?
It did. It came out in show week, and we were busy because we really wanted to see it. So we were like, oh, we want to go see it, but we've got a show, so we can't see it on the Friday, and we can't see it on the
We
Saturday.
were absolutely gutted.
Fuming, right?
Yeah.
We managed to see it on the Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Was it worth the wait?
It really was, but I remember your reaction after we saw it.
Okay, what was it?
As soon as the credits started to roll, you were kind of just sat there, speechless.
I do this quite a
and
lot.
you didn't know quite what to make of it.
I like to just sort of like mull it over for a second
'Cause
before I go, okay, but yeah, better than Space Jam, love it, yeah. I like to give it a minute. And also because it's a franchise I really enjoy and really love, in fact, that I wanted to fully commit to it.
Yeah. 'Cause
You know?
you were kind of hyped for this like a few weeks beforehand.
I was hyped for this since the trailer came out.
And you were talking about it quite a lot, especially in the run-up, and I thought, oh no, did he not enjoy this as much as he wanted to? Because you did laugh quite a bit throughout the film.
It's funny. I wouldn't say it's hilarious. I wouldn't
No.
say it's like a comedy.
It's not Evil Dead 2 or...
Okay, first, here's the thing that's troubling me about these Evil Dead movies. Nothing will be Evil Dead 2.
No.
I think the filmmakers now, and the way the franchise is going, they know it's not going to be Evil Dead 2. So they go, okay, we haven't got that weight on our shoulders. We don't have to be Evil Dead 2, because we're never going to be.
Do you think audiences today, though, would appreciate a new film coming out that's like Evil Dead 2, or would they find it quite silly?
They would find it silly.
And more in this kind of scary movie, kind of.
Yeah.
But this is more of a parody.
Yeah, I think they'd find it more... A little bit like, you know, like Megan, when Megan came out.
Oh, yeah.
People were like, oh, she does a dance in the middle of it. It was like, okay, well...
Yeah, the kind of TikTok thing, yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't have the right effect. If it was going for a comedy thing, then I don't know. You can't really do both, I don't think. But also because the remake,
Yeah.
2013, set the ball rolling, and it's like this is what the franchise is now.
Yeah.
Deal with it, sort of thing.
The remake seemed really, really dark, though, compared to this one. I mean, this one at least had some humour. I didn't feel like the remake did. Not really.
When we say it has much humour, like, I don't think it has much humour outside of the Evil Dead fan base. And what I mean by that is that it's callbacks, it's little details. If you hadn't seen any of the Evil Dead films, I don't think you're going to have much of a good time. You'll probably still enjoy it, but you wouldn't be like,
that's really funny.
She said that line, that's from the second, you know. It's more out of recognition for the love that's gone into it.
Yeah, I think Ellie has more lines though in it where people would have maybe a bit of a laugh, or people who maybe are more used to kind of Sam Raimi's direction, etc. They might appreciate it a little bit more.
Yeah, that's fair dues. But this one's directed by Lee Cronin. Don't know who he is. Straight up.
No.
No, but apparently he did. He made a film called The Hole in the Ground.
Ah, is that why there's a hole in the ground?
There's a hole in this. Maybe, yeah. He just likes holes.
He just likes a hole.
He just likes a hole. He's an Irish director, and he's arrived, right? Like, this is it.
Oh yeah, I hope it has, because this was so good.
This happened with Fede Alvarez, who directed the remake, and he's gone on to do like Alien and Don't Breathe and stuff like this.
Yeah.
He's a name now.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, who are producing this, have gone, All right, give it an unknown.
Yeah, and you can still see the love as well that he clearly has for the kind of like original source material as well. It just feels like it is such a almost like a love letter to the other films.
Well, he wrote this
I
as
think
well.
It's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, he wrote this, so he's obviously a fan. Why wouldn't you be?
I mean, it's the best. Why would you not be?
So going off the remake, this one it doesn't exactly follow on. It doesn't at all, but everything is connected, and we'll get to it in a bit. Mm-hmm. We're going for more of an anthology feel.
Yeah.
What do you think to that?
I really like that because it gives them more kind of scope to develop and to bring in new characters, bring in new ideas. I mean, I like that, for example, with things like Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Because it always keeps it different and it keeps it fresh. I mean, I know some people might not like that because they maybe get used to a cast that they really enjoy and they love to see. But it's something I really appreciate because it can kind of deviate away from bits and pieces.
Fresh slate, start again.
Yeah.
It's refreshing every time.
Yeah, no, I really like that as well because then it's not getting kind of stuck in some old tropes. I think that for example, some sequels end up in.
You're talking about Scream, aren't you?
Where they're just constantly trying to remake the original one that was so good and that worked instead of really thinking outside the box into something new. Do you know what I mean?
You're thinking Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh dear, yeah. Well, I think lessons have been learned. I think
Hopefully.
The first Halloween is great, and then the second, and then obviously it just dips. It just terrible sequels. But I feel like because it's been 10 years since the last Evil Dead film. That's a lot of time off. That's a lot of time to go.
It's a lot of time.
Okay, we're planning this or we're doing this. I imagine there's a lot of Evil Dead stories that have gone, oh, we might greenlight this or whatever.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Completely kind of off topic a little bit, obviously, but we are talking about New Line. Do you think that they're kind of doing what they kind of did with Nightmare on Elm Street with this sort of thing? Because a lot of their films eventually became kind of almost standalone-y, but kind of bringing in some of the older characters.
Here's the thing, when the film started and the New Line Cinema logo rocked up, I went, oh.
Ooh.
Because New Line owned the rights to, I believe this is correct, to the first one.
Quickly on Google.
Yeah. I think this is true. New Line owned the rights to The Evil Dead.
Okay.
But they wouldn't give Sam Raimi the rights back to do Evil Dead 2. This is why Evil Dead 2 is a remake. So the fact that this has ended up back in New Line Cinema's hands is sort of like, oh, well, didn't you guys fuck these over in the first place?
You did, but then they were responsible for such an amazing film, if that's the case.
This film?
No, for Evil Dead 2. If they wouldn't let them have the rights back, then Evil Dead 2, would it be as great as it is?
Yeah, lessons have been learned.
Yeah.
In terms of story, it's similar. Mm-hmm. We've still got 5 people.
5 people.
We've still got 5 people who are in a place and being chased by like demons and otherworldly beings and stuff.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's a good template.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I agree. And I like the kind of changing of setting as well.
Well, we get 2 settings in this one.
We do.
Because it starts with a cold open. Obviously, the last one started with a cold open as well.
Yeah.
The cold open in this, I didn't like as much as the remake.
Why do you think that is?
There's something about seeing it in the daytime. And I know that Deadites and stuff like this can do stuff in daytime because Evil Dead 2 does it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I want a cabin in the woods. You know?
You want a cabin in the woods.
Yeah. But I sort of settled into it the first time. The second time I was like, okay, this is doing its thing. And it does the thing where it's from the demon's point of view, but it's like a drone, and then there's a woman reading the book. That's quite good. I
really liked that bit, especially because whereabouts she's reading in Wuthering Heights when the demon starts to join in, and it's all about let me in. It's like, oh.
Have you read Wuthering Heights? Is that?
I have.
Oh, okay. Is that a bit in it? Is it quite creepy?
Yeah, it's when Kathy's ghost is knocking at the window trying to get in.
I don't know.
Oh, it's creepy.
Oh, and she's like, "It's me, I'm Kathy."
That's the thing.
Back home.
I like how you know it just from the song.
Yeah. Everyone likes a bit of bush.
Oh my god.
That's of course reference to Catherine Bush.
Ooh,
get your filthy mind out of the gutter.
Catherine of the Bush.
Catherine of the Bush. The gore in this, it starts quite quickly.
Oh, it does.
I didn't realise people could survive a scalping.
But they can.
Right? And because you see scalpings in films like Inglourious Bastards and probably like Terrifier and stuff like that.
I remember you Googled that. in the car on the way back.
I did.
From watching the first one. Because you asked me, can people survive this?
I just didn't understand. But here's the thing. I'd seen the trailer for this quite a lot because I was like, oh, I'm so hyped. Oh my God. But obviously, because it's a horror film, they've released a Red Band trailer just to show a bit more blood and gore.
A bit more.
Just to put on before all the scary movies and stuff, you know? And I remember seeing the Red Band for it, and it gave away quite a lot. It showed the scalping, it showed the other bits that we're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. And when it came to watching the film, I was like, well, I've seen it all.
Do you feel the trailer showed too much?
Yes, but because this is such a short film, and you've got to get people excited for it.
Yeah, get on the hype train.
You have to show those things. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. And I'm okay with it, but I'm like, oh, okay, when's that bit from the trailer going to rock up? Yeah. You know?
Yeah, there was especially bits in the trailer as well where you thought, we'll probably get to it in a bit, where you think, oh, they're going to go there with something, and then they don't.
Oh, I'm still annoyed at that bit. But, yeah. But I feel like if anyone listening who hasn't seen Evil Dead Rise yet, do not watch any of the trailers. Just go in blind.
Just go in, yeah.
Because obviously you've got to get a sense of it. Maybe watch the Green Band trailer, but not the Red Band. Absolutely not.
No.
So yeah, we get the best title.
Yeah.
Reveal, right?
Yeah.
Nothing's going to top that this year.
No, it was incredible.
There's it's all kicking off at this cabin and whatnot, and then someone's been scalped. Someone's head's been torn off, and then there's someone there possessed, and she's rising out of the water. And as she does, from the mountains behind it just says, Evil Dead, rise! And
it rises at the same time, and the music really starts.
And there's a big orchestral, like, oh! And you're like, oh, God. That was when I was like, okay. I can relax now, because this is going to be great. And it is great.
It is. It's really great. And that's also the bit where we kept seeing people were posting about it on, social media.
Yeah. Side thing. Turn your phones off and don't take pictures in the cinema of the title reveal. Grow up. So I'm so sorry. But I'm sick of everyone going, oh, I'm watching Evil Dead. Look at me. I'm taking a picture of the thingy. The film's been on for 10 minutes. Your phone should be off and in your pocket. I've had the same issue with some of my friends on this. Because they've gone, oh, I'm watching Spider-Verse, here's a little picture. Turn your phone off. Turn it off.
You can prove you've been but also, why would you need to prove you've been to see a film?
Take a picture of the ticket stub.
But if you have to.
Post it on Letterboxd, do whatever you need to. Just tag yourself in the place. But don't take pictures of the film.
Yeah.
You know when the BBCFC rating... That pisses me off, because I'm like, your phone should be off by now.
Don't you miss that a little bit? Do you remember when we used to get this is for the older listeners, and when we used to get the VHSs that used to be that used to threaten us?
You wouldn't download a movie. Though.
You wouldn't steal a car.
Yeah. You wouldn't download a car.
So you wouldn't steal from a shop. So why would you?
Why would you steal a movie?
Yeah, why would you steal this? Yeah, we don't get that anymore. We don't get threatening stuff on Netflix.
Yeah, we just get random people going, turn your phone off and have a good time.
Don't share your password.
Yeah, turn your phone off if you don't like it. Yeah, just turn your phones off. It's not hard, guys. Okay, rant over. I'm very passionate about that.
Are you? You didn't sound it.
Fuck.
Anger.
So we arrive in this tower block. This is where the rest of the film takes place. Obviously, it's called Evil Dead Rise because it's in a high-rise building.
I didn't actually clock that until you've just said that.
You've got to be joking.
No.
Seriously.
I just thought it was like the Evil's rising again.
No, it's a high-rise building. Evil Dead Rise.
It's a high-rise building. I didn't know it was named because of the building.
I just thought it was wordplay. I thought it was cute.
Oh, well, clearly I had no idea.
Well, one of us.
Learning.
Learned, son. It's pronounced learned. So yeah, it's in a tower block, which isn't a cabin in the woods.
No.
How'd you feel about this?
Initially, I thought, one of the reasons why it works so well with the kind of cabin in the woods thing is because you feel like the characters really are isolated. And I thought, well, how are you going to do that in a high-rise tower building? Because you're surrounded by all these people. You're in a massive city. Mm-hmm. But they do it so well.
So the key here is applying those things from the cabin into a high-rise. So, for instance, when things are kicking off, the thing is trapped outside, so they have to stay inside to be safe.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they can just go anywhere.
Yeah.
The elevator doesn't work. The way out is blocked. Things like this that would...
But it's all things that would make sense as well. So, for example, the reason why they can't get down the stairs, etc., is because there's been an earthquake. It's something that that people do have to go through, so it makes sense.
I didn't know you couldn't use the lift after an earthquake.
No, you shouldn't use the lift.
Well, am I supposed to know?
Well, the electronics could all be like completely fucked, so you don't want to be trapped. But also you get aftershocks as well.
Yeah,
So you wouldn't want to be caught in the lift and there be an aftershock.
Every day's a school day for me.
Clearly for both of us, because I had no idea.
Because it's in a building!
It's in a building! Oh my god.
So it's a family of 1, 2, 3, 4. Family 4.
Mm-hmm.
And a single mother. Very good. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And we're introduced to Beth, who is the auntie as well. So we've got Beth, we've got
Ellie,
thank you. And then we've got...
Danny,
thank you. I'm terrible with names.
Bridget and Cassie. So it's a tale of two sisters.
It's a tale of two sisters.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
we've got Beth, the kind of rock chick wild child, coming to... She's found herself in a bit of a family situation.
She's purging it.
She is. So
Yeah.
she's gone back to her sister's place to get some help.
Yeah.
Basically.
But you established that she hasn't seen them in a while because Ellie has also gone through a divorce, or the father's
He's left.
gone AWOL or whatever. So it's literally just these two trying to make ends meet as best as they can. So,
Yeah.
But they do need each other. That's
Yeah.
established quite early on.
It is, yeah.
The chemistry between everyone here is great.
Yeah, I think all the performances from all of the actresses are absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and that's nothing against any. I'm not throwing shade at anyone from the other Evil Dead films.
No.
But there's something about this one that is so much better, and I think because there's been a lot of behind the scenes footage leak from this. Well, not leak, but they've happily posted it.
Yeah.
There was a day one of shooting. There was a boot camp, and they'd show people had to do forward rolls and all this stuff and action and stuff. But everyone was involved. It wasn't just whoever had to do it. They were all there, so everyone can get on. Everyone can be friends and stuff. It's really nice.
Yeah, I think all the actresses as well. They really had chemistry. They felt like they could be an actual family.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a family you could see out and about. It's great, and I really liked it. I think, especially as well with the others. I mean, with the remake, we get like a brother and sister sort of element. Mm-hmm. You never really quite believe they're related.
Because there's no chemistry.
No, there isn't, and even though they establish as well that they don't really get on either. That obviously the sisters having problems like going through rehab and stuff. They automatically bring in a bit of a divide. That's kind of a plot point. Mm-hmm. They feel very solid and connected as a family as well. So when everything starts to really kick off. Mm-hmm. You're more invested in what's happening to this family as opposed to teens getting sliced who you don't give a shit about.
Yeah, absolutely. Earthquake, and there's a big hole in the parking lot, okay? Now, we've established early on that Danny, in this, who is a character of gender fluidity, I will say that, which is fine.
It is true.
It's never addressed, and nor should it be.
It doesn't need to be. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a part of the plot.
It is what it is. Good, fine. But they established earlier that Danny has told ghost stories of this building, so there's this already just this building's a little bit off. It's like maybe like the poltergeist built on a Indian burial ground and things like that. Okay, there's a bank. It was built on a bank, and then there's a ghost story about a banker who hung himself and stuff. So
and he's gonna go out looking for your money. Yeah.
But in this hole, we do find one of the vaults that's there, and they go exploring. And
as you do after an earthquake,
you would go exploring. You want to make sure everything's okay.
Do you know, if I was living in a high-rise building that's about to be condemned, and all of a sudden a hole appeared in the ground in the parking lot after an earthquake, I would not be in said hole.
I would, but with the proper equipment.
Yeah, you might come back. After the risk of aftershock is gone.
Maybe high-vis jacket, hard hat.
You just don't jump balls deep in the hole.
If I had a nickel. So, they go exploring. This is where we there's old coins hanging, crucifixes hanging from necklaces from the roof. There's a big book. There's some records, and there's someone down there who you're quite fond of, right? Oh,
I knew you would bring this up.
Spooky Dooky Jesus.
Spooky Jesus.
What? Okay. It's a jump scare. We've seen this 4 times now. We watched it again.
We've only just watched this.
Yeah. And did it still get you this time?
Well, you were fanning about, weren't you, with the settings? I didn't get to see it as much as I would have liked
Which
to.
is a shame because he's Spooky Dooky Jesus.
He is Spooky Dooky Jesus.
But it's a very good jump scare.
I don't know why it catches me late. I think it's because she's looking around a lot and the sound is quite strange and distorted. And I don't know, he gets me every time.
Spooky Dooky Jesus.
Jesus smites me every time.
You've been spoken. So we've got a book, we've got records. They go back up. Oh, don't go in an earthquake. That's silly. Obviously, they look at the book. I like the design of this book quite a lot.
Can we go back a little bit, right?
If we must.
We must.
Okay, sure.
Right. Danny going down into this vault.
Yeah.
Nothing in that vault looks like it doesn't have a demon attached to it. Everything in there looks like there's some demon probably lives there.
Yeah, but curiosity killed the cat, you know?
I would have yanked all those old coins and they'd have been in my pockets at Scrap Metal Man.
Coins ain't worth shit.
Or to the pawn shop. I would not be looking around for no weird ass
I could
book.
trade in these old coins, please. And they'd be like, yeah.
Take them into kegs.
Yeah.
How much are you going to get from these coins?
No money in these coins.
But like, if like a museum or something, why would you steal some weird ass book that's got all these like weird spikes on it? It says to me, there's a demon in that book.
But the book does open accidentally because it's quite sharp. It's got like teeth.
A book with teeth.
A book with teeth.
Well, what? I know it's a horror movie and people have to make silly choices, otherwise
the film wouldn't happen. Yeah,
we wouldn't have a film, but no.
Okay, well, that's on you.
That's why I would survive a horror movie.
You would not, because I would read book.
You would read. That's the thing. What happens to Ellie would happen to me because you've read the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably. Yeah. So, yeah, the design of the book opens, but it's bound in human flesh. It was inked in blood. Whatever. Been there, done that. We know what's going off. It's the characters who don't. We're seeing them on this journey. I love that it's on a record, on a vinyl, because vinyl's all the rage these days. With the children. They love vinyl records, don't they?
They love a bit of vinyl. A bit of vintage.
They put it on the record player, and then because they like listening to music and they DJ, right?
Yeah.
And you don't quite make out what's going on at first, and then they spin it round to get the right RPM. Is that the right thing?
You're looking at me like I know tech.
RPM. Let's go with that. And we understand it's a guy presenting at a church.
Yeah, it's a vocal recording, isn't it?
Or a cathedral. Yeah. That's, I've got a Book of the Dead. I'm going to read it. And then everyone's like, no, shut up.
Yes, it's like reading it out to like a sermon.
Yeah.
Telling everyone, I found this book and I'm going to change all mankind with the Book of the Dead.
Yeah. Everyone goes, no, this is a bad idea. And anyway, there's a second vinyl, and on the record it says, oh, they disowned me at the church, but I'm going to read it anyway. And we get the, like, Conda, and stuff like that.
Do it again.
Conda!
With feeling.
I did it with feeling twice. But the sound mixing, the sound editing in this is wonderful. When you hear the spell, the incantation, for the first time, you feel it in your chest. You're like, I am not prepared.
It doesn't sound corny at all. Danny realises straight away that I shouldn't be listening to this.
Yeah.
Tries to turn it off, and it doesn't turn off. Everything stops them from doing it.
Yeah, sure. So it plays anyway, so something's in control. Meanwhile, the mother, who is Ellie, goes down to do some laundry. She's in the lift, and we get the whole demon coming at her. It's pushing her in the back of the lift. Up she goes. And this is where we get a very familiar scene. Because in all the other Evil Dead movies, Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, and Remake, we have a tree scene. And I've discussed it in length with many people. I don't like the tree scenes.
It's really not needed,
Not needed. I'm glad everyone who I've spoke to about the Evil Dead movies agrees that the tree scene, maybe take it out.
Yeah.
But here, it's played very differently because it's in... Obviously, there's no trees around because it's in a lift.
Yeah.
But they do it less is more.
Yeah, even the way that the wires start to move are very similar to kind of the movements of the branches.
It's wires, it's cables, it's things like this. Things you would find in a lift. Right?
Yeah.
And Ellie doesn't have a good time with it. Around the neck, around the arm, she's bound. It snaps her arm. It's really...
The whole scene I actually find really difficult to watch because it's actually really cruel. Like, 'cause it starts off with it, like, obviously tearing the earring out of her ear.
It smacks her across the face.
Yeah, like, it just beats her up for no... And you hear him, like, laughing at her. It is really awful, because even the way that it's kind of got, strangled... That would kill you really slowly.
Meanwhile, we've got power outages, we've got things like this. Everything you would find in an earthquake, you've got it, okay? Candles, all this stuff. So it's lit very atmospherically.
Yeah.
I really struggled with that word then.
You did.
Did you see it?
You did, but you made it, and that's all that matters.
Thank you. So Ellie comes in, starts making eggs. I thought that when she's throwing eggs in the pan, that the eggs were just blood. But is the blood coming from her? Oh, it's unclear.
I think some of it, because you can get blood in eggs, can't you?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's...
Have you ever had one?
I haven't.
Oh, it's very upsetting.
Oh.
It puts you off eggs for like a week.
I do think that we used to do in like old like food tech class. We used to put them into like a jug first.
Yeah. Okay, so one thing we did skip over is the fact that this film is taking everything it's learned from Chekhov's gun, and it's applying it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've already seen a chainsaw, and we've seen something that comes up later in the film, but we see it. The first 15 minutes of the film is okay. Keep your eye out for that one because that's going to come back.
Yeah.
It does it a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Chekhov's a gun, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. Because even now, just watching it again, I was like, this is where this came up, and you were like, yeah.
Yeah. Come on. So Ellie's starting to turn, but she's sort of battling it.
Yeah.
Sort of.
She's kind of switching a little bit between the two.
Yeah. We do get quite a lot of in the whole film, not just this bit, but the carry shot. And I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
It's something in the background and there's something in the foreground, but both of them are in focus.
Yeah.
I've always found it very odd because there's always that blur in the middle.
Maybe that's the idea it's supposed to.
I get it. It's a nice carry thing for horror fans, but like I don't like it. I don't like it.
Well, I do like it. It's supposed to disorientate you a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
That's what I do with horror.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But she's like, okay, it's in me, and then she starts like she slams on the ground, and when she's moving, it's very like monstrous and heavy, right? And she's got very good spinal posture. She can do the cat's cradle or like
the angry cat.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. That's what I used to call it at cheerleading.
Okay,
it's
cool.
got the angry cat stretching out the back. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she vomits everywhere, which that's a very good effect.
There's a lot of vomit though.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like CGI. A lot of this doesn't look like CGI.
No, it doesn't. It was really good.
It's quite visceral. Let's go visceral.
Did they use a lot of CGI on this film, or is a lot of it kind of like?
I think obviously because of the last third. I think it has to do CGI.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. But I do think where they could, it's all practical.
I like me some practical effects.
Yeah. I think that's why I like this one more than... Well, no, because the remake did it as well.
Okay.
But I don't know. I can't possibly know because I haven't seen the bonus features yet. But when I get it, I'm going to watch those bonus features.
I'm going to watch those bonus
I'm going to watch those bonus features. So she's dead. She's straight up dead, right?
Yeah.
That's sad.
It's really sad. I mean, I said this to you while we were actually watching it. This is my problem with the Evil Dead films in general. The person that reads the book never seems to have the initial horror happen to them. It's always a side character.
Yeah.
Who has the... I mean, look at the tree scenes. So it's always going after somebody else first. Usually someone who's probably a bit weaker.
Yeah. And the one thing I really don't like about this film is that no one ever deserves it. Like, people have made mistakes, obviously, and people do have to. It's a film; you've got to have a body count. But I don't like that it has to have this body count.
Yeah,
why can't it be other people?
Yeah, like that's what I mean. It's different than seeing a load of teens that make stupid decisions, and you think, oh, I don't really have much of a vibe with you. I don't really care, and then you kind of get on the enjoyment of the serial killer, of the demon, etc., doing their thing. In this, you've got a family that they're going through really hard times, and even like with Danny stealing the book, etc., you know the motivations behind it, even though it was stupid. I mean, they're being evicted. She's thinking, oh, my mum could use the money.
Yeah, it seems unfair.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you made a stupid mistake, but this shouldn't be happening to any of you guys.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, you guys.
And also, it's the first time we're really getting children.
Yeah,
in the Evil Dead
franchise. Yeah. It's kind of upsetting. It's very unclear how old Danny and Bridget are.
We've also got the neighbours' children.
Well, yeah, because we do get a child die quite early in this.
Yeah.
We do get some... They're not alone in this building. We do get a neighbour who has a cat that goes missing. Great, fine. But then we get one who is like, I'm going to help. He's really good.
Yeah.
Right?
I liked him.
He's really good. I like him a lot. He's like, may I pray? And then you can see he's like, something ain't right.
Yeah, because by this point they think that Ellie's dead.
Yeah.
She's done all this weird, cat cracking on the floor.
Yeah.
Been sick everywhere and just died.
Mm-hmm. She is dead because she gets a phone call. Beth's phone starts ringing and it's Ellie. And she's like, oh, hi, just wanted to call you. And then it sort of cuts to Ellie where she is now, and she's not in a good place.
No.
She's like, I'm burning, I'm burning alive, help me. And then obviously this is when Ellie, sorry,
the demon,
I can't air quote in the podcast, it's very difficult, but you get it, right? When I go
see.
Ellie,
yeah,
okay, cool, but she's awake. Okay, it's go time, right?
Yeah.
Into the bath. She's burning up. She's in the bath. Her eyes go to the back of her head.
Yeah.
She's convulsing. It's not having a good time of it. And then she shoots up to the ceiling. She works her way around. She grabs hold of the sides and she lets out the biggest scream ever, right?
Your face when she was doing that, you were like, oh.
No, I don't think I was.
You loved it. You were grinning.
I had a big grin on my face,
Yeah.
straight up. Yeah. I was like, yeah. Alyssa Sutherland is the actress playing Ellie, and she is... I think everyone in this film, actually, completely understands the assignment.
Oh, yeah, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah. But you wouldn't sign on for it otherwise.
Yeah, they were like, you know what, we know what to do with these roles.
I think because Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell are producing, they go, okay, would you want to sign on for this film? And then Bruce, I imagine it's good cop, bad cop, where Sam Raimi's like, you're going to have a terrible time and it won't be easy. And then Bruce Campbell's like, yeah, but you'll come out of it looking very cool.
Looking very badass.
That's how I feel those two operate. And
yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. She stops screaming, she falls into the bath, she crawls out, and then she does a very good John Travolta impression. I think when she says, Mummy's with the maggots now, she sounds like John Travolta.
Interesting.
I'm going to play it.
Okay, I've never really gotten that.
Look, I need you to sort of close your eyes and picture. I'm not talking early John Travolta. I'm talking like John Travolta now, or maybe Hairspray John Travolta.
Before or after Adele Dazeem?
Oh, this is before Adele. But to be fair, around the same time. Okay.
Okay.
Mummy's with the maggots now.
I think she sounds like John Travolta.
Maybe it is.
Maybe it is. Hey, who knows? So everyone's getting attacked left, right, and centre. Beth is stabbed through the hand.
Yeah.
We get a very disappointing tattoo
gun.
Yeah.
Cop out, really.
It's a cop out, isn't it? Because in the trailer, you go, okay, someone's going to get tattooed in the eye. No one gets tattooed in the eye.
No. Would it also have been really dark and disturbing watching Ellie do that to one of her children?
Well, yeah, but like if you're going to do it, lean in.
Tattoo the eye.
Lean in. Yeah.
Don't
cop out and go, oh, I'm going to tattoo a cheek instead.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, really? And even the bit with the cheese grater is quite infamous now, the cheese grater, but everyone's like, oh, cheese grater. Ugh.
But it's because they showed it in the trailer.
But it's in the trailer, and also it's not that bad. It's just like a...
I wouldn't know.
Well, no one's going to know.
No,
but like,
I've not seen it.
Oh, you've not seen it?
I've still not seen it. How many times have we seen this film? I've not seen that scene because I refuse to see it.
I'd put it in the same category as sort of like skimming your knee.
Have you never grated like a block of cheese and got it on your thumb?
Well, yeah, exactly. So you do know how it feels.
Yeah, I do. I don't want that on the back of my leg. Oh.
It's not that bad.
I mean,
I wouldn't. Not the feeling. In the film, it's not that bad.
Oh no, I can't watch it.
Somehow they managed to get Ellie outside.
It's the neighbours.
Well, the neighbours come in
because she does the eeny meeny.
Who wants to rock next? Eeny meeny miny mo. But the miney. Oh god.
We love the delivery.
I don't think it's the delivery. I think it's she goes miney. Yeah, that. But it's got the very Deadeye, Evil Dead.
Yeah. Distortion
sound effect on her voice, and it's as a fan of the Evil Dead, that sort of like it's like a warm hot chocolate on a cold winter's day. You're like,
That's all I need.
I could drink that up all day.
This is for me. It's my comfort
It's like,
blanket.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, I really enjoy that. There's a lot of fisheye lenses in this because obviously we've got one of those door peephole things. I forget what they're called.
So you can see what's going off outside because it all starts kicking off in the hallway with the neighbours coming over to help. Ellie's attacking everybody and she goes after them.
That could be one take because what I want to say is because the choreography in this, obviously we've got snappy edits and things like that, but that scene in particular, everyone's got their place and they know it's almost like a dance almost, whereas like I'm going to walk here and on this beat I'm going to move forward and on this beat you're going to get thrown across the room.
It's very smooth, isn't it?
It's very smooth, and I think that they must have had months of rehearsal for not just that scene but the whole film to go, okay, you're going to place your hand here, you're going to move here, then you're going to scream or whatever. You know, effort's been taken, and I don't think you had that in the remake. I think in the remake it was just in spur of the moment. Okay, go mad.
Yeah,
go
it's
mad
very jolty. Yeah,
go mad for 15 minutes and snappy edits, and we'll figure it out. But this one, care and time has been taken.
Yeah,
which I know Evil Dead 1 and 2 didn't really have a chance to do that, but there are moments in that where, like Ash, for instance, is smashing plates over his head, but that's all. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to flip myself over. It's a ballet. It's a dance of gruesome
of gruesomeness. Yeah,
I just really, I think I'm looking too much into it, but I really appreciate it.
Oh no, I think it definitely shows as well.
Yeah.
The more as well, I keep thinking now about the remake. I feel like the remake was actually a little bit rushed compared to this one.
Yeah, no, I see.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Anyway, so we get...
we just keep going off on a tangent. We love this so much.
I want to talk about because we do get essences of the other films, because we get lines quoted here and there, and little things like that. And, for instance, the eye, where she spits an eye out, that's very Sam Raimi, and we love to see it.
I mean, imagine dying on an eyeball.
Yeah, choking on an eyeball.
Death by eyeball.
Death by eyeball. We'll get to that. But the lullaby, now we didn't look into this and we never even thought to.
No.
But she sings the lullaby outside the thing to get Cassie to open the door.
Yeah, so the lullaby that Ellie is singing is called the Fairy Lullaby. It's an Irish one about fairies.
Cool.
Obviously kind of like with the fairy folklore about fairies being known to take children away and to change them over with changelings. So when we kind of think about what Evil Dead does, you've got demons taking over the body, completely changing them. It's like, I like a bit of that. But also, I think lullabies in general are creepy.
I think the older ones are, yeah, absolutely.
It's even like with the second Evil Dead with Rockabye Baby. Even that's
no,
got
it's not Rockabye Baby.
Oh, Hush Little Baby.
Don't sing.
It's really creepy as well.
Yeah, if that barking bird don't sing, you're going to be spoiled to death. Is what that's saying, I guess.
I think there's something about lullabies I find really creepy.
I get it.
Even not in a horror film.
Oh, okay.
They're a bit creepy.
Fair enough. My favourite lullaby will always be Mockingbird from Dumb and Dumber that they sing in the car.
Aww.
Mark. Yeah. Ing. Yeah. Because Ellie is outside and she's the only one possessed so far, obviously we need to find ways to get the action back inside.
Yeah.
This is done quite quickly. Bridget is next to go.
Yeah.
And it's sad, right? Like, because I'd argue she's the most likable of all of them. I think they're all likable. But I think she's
the kids.
Of the kids, absolutely.
Yeah, she's kind of like the more grounded maybe of them. She's still a kid, she's still a teen.
Yeah.
But she's also trying to grow up early because you see her mainly looking after Cassie, even when the earthquake hits. You'll notice in that scene she's covering Cassie up.
It's quite gruesome how she gets it. Obviously, her tattoo thing gets infected. Got an infection. And then she's possessed and she starts bleeding from her nose and her eyes. And it's not a good time for anyone.
All these bugs start coming out of her mouth. And
it's kind of sad. But gotta eat that glass.
We've got to eat some glass.
I don't think eating glass is scary. And I don't find it gruesome.
I think it's because so many people know now the kind of special effect for glass,
Yeah,
where it's like,
sugar.
she's eating sugar.
Yeah, you can just crack it with your hands. And
Yeah,
stuff.
so it's like, it doesn't come across quite as...
Yeah, she's having a great time. She's eating probably like rock candy or something.
If it was a ceramic mug, I might be more
Well, no, because
terrified. Because I'd be thinking of like her teeth like going all horrible.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
actually.
That'd creep me out more.
Yeah, but obviously when she eats it, when she swallows it, you can see it coming out of her throat and things like that. It's like,
But then you see it as being an effect. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I appreciate it, but I don't care for that. Not in a bad way. I just don't like it. We get the cheese grater bit, and then we get Stephanie. Cassie kills Bridget in this bit by just chucking her staff through her mouth, and she takes it out and she falls to the ground. Poor Cassie. She's great.
She is. For a young actress as well, to do the things she's doing in this film without being annoying.
Yeah.
Is pretty top for me, because the amount of horror films I see, and I think, you know what, kids, no. Dog, you don't kill animals.
We kill the dog, yeah.
But no, children horror films, get rid of them. But no, she isn't annoying, and I think she's asked to do a lot in this film, especially towards the end.
I'm gonna put her up there with Newt from Aliens.
Okay, I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Where she can survive. She could probably do all right by herself.
Yeah.
But obviously, we do get a Sigourney Weaver character for her later in the film.
Yeah.
In Beth. I completely see the parallels with Ripley and Newt and Cassie and Beth.
Yeah.
Here. I don't think that's an accident either.
No, I wouldn't be surprised either.
Yeah. Then this is when we realise that it's all Danny's fault. We've played the records and stuff, but if there's something on there to get these demons out, there's something to put them back.
Because they've only listened to the first 2 records.
Yeah, so...
And there is a third.
Turns out there's no way to put them back. This is this is very, very bad news. Yeah. Right? But we do get a Lilo and Stitch, where Ellie has found a way back in, and she plays the rest of the record just by putting her fingernail on it.
Yeah.
And opening her mouth. Come on, don't do it.
Don't Lilo and Stitch us.
Don't Lilo and Stitch us.
But we appreciated it.
I liked it, and her mouth's very, like, what she's doing with her face in this, Alyssa Sutherland, is very, very good, and I don't think that's CGI, I think that's completely practical.
That's all her face.
Or she can just do it, I don't know. Who knows?
She does a couple of different things with her jaw. She does it in this kitchen scene with the eggs as well.
Yeah, she does. It feels like her jaw's been
like locked
broken,
almost,
and then she sort of like snaps it back into place.
Yeah.
There's a bit where she's on top of the neighbour, I forget his name, just before she's like trying to bite at him. She's biting at him, but then she digs her fingernails in, and then there's a shot where she sort of charges up this big bite, and she's doing something with her face, and I don't know what it is, but I love it. And she chomps on it.
Charge up your bite.
Charge up your bite. That's the Spice Girls song, isn't it?
T-shirt.
Girls of the world, charge up your bite.
Demons of the world, charge up your bite.
Everyone's back inside. Everyone's fighting. You get some scissors up the nose.
Yeah, because we find that Bridget has also risen again as well and attacks Danny.
Yeah, Danny's ceased to be.
And then Ellie comes back out of nowhere.
Yeah, scissors up the nose.
Yeah.
Stops them every
And again,
time.
Cassie's good in that, in the fact that she's hiding and she's keeping out of the action, but she slides the scissors over to her auntie.
Which she slid under there in the first place earlier in the film.
She did.
Chekhov's a gun.
Chekhov's a gun.
Right? We've got to get out. We've got to get out of here. It's Beth and Cassie against the world.
Everyone else is gone.
There's no one else. So we have to go to the fire escape. Don't look back there. That's where they all are. What sort of thing?
Yeah.
Ellie's not dead. Obviously not.
No.
We do get a little jump scare where she goes, Bethy Boo! And then she goes, woo!
Woo! Yeah.
And runs there. Off comes she got a shotgun. We've got a shotgun in this.
Yeah.
Beth shoots her leg off and then shoots her hand off. We do get all the bodies in the corridor.
In the hallway of all the dead neighbours.
We get the line, everybody dies by dawn, Beth. And then everyone's like, dead by dawn!
Dead by dawn!
Dead by dawn! Again, similar to the chant, the incantation earlier. The Dead by Dawn, I really felt every word. Like, Dead by Dawn!
Yes.
Oh, I love this film so much, it hurts.
I can see.
Right? I just love this whole franchise, just because I've watched...
It just delivers, doesn't it?
It really does. And I've had such a good time revisiting these, like, one by one, but building to this, which is such a good fucking film.
Yeah.
I love it. We get in the lift.
That was so... I love
I'm
the
just-
dramatic... It was so good!
It was so good.
In the lift.
In the lift. I was down in the lift. The lift fills with blood. I've seen it before in It Chapter 2. Big containers of blood. I'm not impressed by it anymore.
No.
Meanwhile, the Deadites of Danny and Bridget, they're climbing their way inside the body of...
Of Ellie. Because she's kind of in pieces now after Beth has blasted her with this shotgun.
Yeah. She upgrades.
Yeah, they become almost like this Rat King sort of a thing where they all just kind of merge together.
I'm so glad you know about the Rat King. I love the Rat King.
Yeah.
Right?
So they become this kind of one being. And as they're doing that, the Book of the Dead starts flipping pages.
Yeah.
And it shows it, which I
Everything
love.
that has happened is shown to you in the book.
Which is kind of a callback to the remake.
Yeah.
Which I liked that.
I like it, yeah. Oh, this is my favourite joke in the film.
And you really missed it.
The lift fills with blood. There are hands trying to grab Beth and Cassie. No one's having a good time. The cable snaps. You just hear it. You don't see anything. The cable snaps. It's basically like darkness, right?
Yeah, it all goes to darkness.
It goes to black. Cable snaps. The lift's plummeting. And just before it crashes down, we get the ding of the lift. Like, you have reached your destination or something. I laughed so hard, didn't I?
Every time that's taken you.
But why put it in? I love that someone's gone, you know what, we should put a ding in there.
Like a ding.
Ding.
Your lift's here.
And then just like, that's odd. The blood usually gets off.
It gets off at the second floor. Yeah.
Into the parking lot we go. This is where it gets Resident Evil 2, which I like. The car won't start, or the gate to get out won't work.
Yeah, it takes its time, and I think because of the earthquake as well, a lot of the kind of ground in the parking lot is raised, so they can't physically drive out, even though they want to.
Chekhov's gun.
Right.
I love it. But there's a monster behind them. So we get, you could go around the cars, which is a scene I've still not seen, because like you earlier with the Spooky Dooky Jesus.
Every time Spooky Dooky Jesus has got me, you don't look because you know it'll get you.
I know it'll get me. I don't know what's round the corner of that car. Nor will I ever.
It's just the Rat King.
I know it's
that's how I know them now. It's the Rat King.
The Rat King, yeah. I think that's probably how they describe it in the film.
Is it? I don't know.
Rat Bird. We have all the instruments of a good showdown here. We have a chainsaw. There's a chainsaw down here. There's a shotgun, and there's what's the thing that grinds the thing to make the thing?
Like a tree thing. I don't know.
Oh god, what's it called? You push trees into it, and then sawdust comes out. You know what I'm talking about? I can't think what. Tree chipper.
I was thinking tree blender, but that's not.
We'll call it a tree blender.
Wood chipper.
Wood chipper.
Why can't we? Do you know what? I'm gonna go on Dragon's Den and create my own tree blender.
Tree blender.
Tree blender.
We love to see it. I'm gonna call it that from now on. So
no copyright.
Fine. The wood chipper. Okay, so we've got all the pieces in place. This is where it gets a little bit too much for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because there's Beth and Cassie make an escape for the door because it's closing. Cassie gets dragged back in, and Beth finds a way back in, and we've got the chainsaw. We finally get to see what the Rat King looks like, and it's weird.
It feels a bit creature feature. It's not.
Yeah, but that's what the Evil Dead does towards the end.
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2 does, because there's a massive big thing.
And then Army of Darkness just goes.
Army of Darkness.
Completely balls to the wall with
yeah,
it.
And then even the remake, even though it's not like a big grotesque creature, it does have a creature that you can defeat.
There's something about the Rat King that seems a bit silly to me.
I get it, yeah.
I think especially because what happens with the book changing, and we see what happens eventually to Ellie, and then what happens to Bridget. I don't know. It just feels like such an anti-climax when it shouldn't be, and I don't know why.
I see it. Yeah. But we do get Beth taking a stand. She's rising. She's a stronger character, more so now than she was at the start of the film.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really good to see that she does a little bit of a get away from her, you bitch, right?
Yeah.
Aliens, isn't it?
Yeah.
I get it. But we do get a come get some.
And like I think as well, because she's completely drenched in blood, the dress she's wearing has turned that same colour blue. Her hair looks black because it's obviously got all that blood clot in it. She looks just like
she's Ash.
She's Ash. Yeah.
She's Ash. Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Absolutely. That's not an accident. It can't be.
And she's got the docs on. It's all
it's
working.
a vibe.
Yeah.
This is where basically after a little bit of fighting, into the wood chipper, the Rat King goes.
Yeah.
And blood spurting everywhere. The Rat King, for a if you haven't seen it, is like a Cerberus.
Yeah.
Where it's literally just Ellie, Danny, and Bridget sort of merged
all
into one. All
fused together into this one weird. But they just seem to, even though they're fused together, they've still only got two hands.
Yeah.
So almost like they become... I think if they'd have stayed as individual characters, say if it was just Bridget and Danny, or that one of them had fused to Ellie, it might have been creepier, because then you've got two characters going after them than just one really clunky...
I get it, though.
Creature, do you know what I mean?
I appreciate the imagination of this one.
Yeah.
But I think I do agree.
I think as well, with the characters of what happens to, for example, with Bridget, she ends up being set on fire when she doesn't look like herself when she's merged onto Ellie.
I think Danny does, but Danny...
was covered in blood, because Bridget was sick.
Vomiting, yeah.
So they don't look like themselves.
I don't think this...
When they're there. So I don't know, I suppose I cared a little bit less about them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But they are one big happy family. That's the whole...
That's what she wanted.
That's exactly... She said, like, I wish I could like cut you open and crawl inside so we were all together. She says that.
And those three all end up together.
She followed through with that promise. Everyone's in the wood chipper.
And then they all go in the wood chipper.
And then we sort of like walk off into the sunset. Then we get an epilogue where we get one of the characters from the start of the film, who's like, no, I don't want to go to a retreat by the lake.
She lives in the building too.
Yeah. Which, how she didn't hear any of this is...
Well, she says there was a really bad storm.
Yeah.
The thunder kept her up. She was probably on TikTok.
They're probably kids, innit? Yeah. But then she sees the scene of the crime, and we get the whole POV from the demon thing, and then the scream. She's
taken over.
And she's taken over, so that ties into the start of the film. And that's Evil Dead Rise.
It has risen.
It's a fucking good film, isn't it?
It is so good.
It's a good old time.
I think that's the thing as well for this particular franchise. I think where other franchises like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, got progressively worse.
Uh-huh.
I think you get some really good ones every now and again. Like, for example, Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one's great, the third one's amazing,
one's good, and
then it's just stupid.
Yeah.
The Evil Dead, every single installment has been really good.
I think I don't think... Here's the thing. The Evil Dead, it's like 1, 2, and 3, and then there's a gap, and then there's remake, and then there's a gap, and then there's this one. Obviously, it's because they know that it's got such a following that if they do have a misstep, even slightly, people will call for blood. Forgive the pun. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like, because everyone obviously wants to have a good time on set and stuff, the audience needs to have a good time as well.
Yeah.
So great care is taken, more so than probably any other horror franchise anyway. Maybe Chucky's like probably the only one that's gone, okay, it's for the fans. This one as well, this is like the fans come first.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anyone who has seen it who has been disappointed.
No, I think the people that have seen it that maybe aren't fans of like the Evil Dead stuff.
Yeah.
Like we've seen it with some of the critics' reviews that maybe don't like horror films so much, don't really appreciate it, perhaps like we do.
Yeah.
That's not to say it's a bad film, because it's definitely not. It's
definitely
incredible.
Not. But it kind of ties into the other ones, and I said I was going to come back to it, and here I am.
Here he is. He's back.
Ash obviously is not in this film, but he appeared in the remake at the end. There's a theory going round, and if you go off the director's cut of Army of Darkness, and if you stick with that, and if that's your ending, all of this is going to make sense. Mm-hmm. There are 3 books. One we see in Evil Dead 1 and 2. Well, Evil Dead 2. Let's just go with Evil Dead 2. And that's the first book. And then we see the other books in the third one. But Ash is then given a potion to sleep until he has to get home, but he goes too far. There's a theory going round that Ash, and this is sort of confirmed by the people involved, appears in this film, because in the recording on the vinyl, it's said that Ash is the one that goes, destroy it. It's called the Book of the Dead for the reason. Like, you know, people have said, yeah, that's Ash. So he's basically skipping through time,
trying to fight
evil. Yeah. So he's behind the scenes.
I would like to see the priest recordings as a film.
Yeah, straight up.
With Ash in it.
I could see it. It would be bonkers if Ash went so far back in time and then figured out how to get to the 20s, which is when it was recorded.
Yeah.
To then go, oh, I'm part of the clergy. I'm doing research with the priests and the Vatican or whatever.
Yeah.
And fighting evil that way and really getting to learn about it and stuff. I feel like he would be at a church if that was the case. And then he'd go, oh, don't do that. That's bad. But then someone does it anyway. And then he's probably there to pick up the pieces.
Because we need to find out, because obviously in the last recording, we hear that the last priest is kind of like, I can hear them outside the door. It won't be long before I'm taken over.
Yeah.
Well, what happened to all your vinyls then? How did that and the book end up in this vault?
Yeah. And
who put them there?
Who put them there?
We all know who should put them there.
I think, yeah.
It should be Ash.
It should be Ash. But the thing is, I do like that the franchise is episodic now.
Yeah.
I like seeing these littler stories sort of played out just randomly at different places with different things. And obviously now we're back in a lake at the woods. This is where this one ends. But I don't think the franchise should go back to the woods anymore. I think it should go to other settings and try new
definitely.
things. I'm not doing their job for them, but that's what I'd like to see.
Oh no, I'd like to see that too, and I can completely appreciate the difference in setting as well. And I like it. We've seen a lot of these kind of cabin in the woods kinds of films.
We've got Cabin in the Woods.
We have Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
And I think again you can play out an old trope again and again and again. We've had one and two that are in the woods. We've had the remake that's in the woods.
Yeah.
We don't need to be on the woods.
Time to get out of the woods, I think. But is it better than Space Jam?
This is an absolute masterpiece.
I think, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah. Of course it is. It's one of my favourites this year.
Okay, ranking. Where does this rank on your Evil Dead scale against the others?
Now, in previous episodes, I've asked for people's rankings of the Evil Dead, and it's always been different. Every time it's been different. But the thing is, with the Evil Dead franchise, there are no wrong answers. If you've got it, that's fine.
There is.
But no one's ever gone, oh, that's a bad film. Everyone's gone, no, it's all good. So, again, no wrong answers. But here's mine, which is the right answer. Evil Dead 2, top, always.
Yeah.
No one's ever not putting Evil Dead 2 at the top of their list. Then it's this.
I agree.
I think this is better than the first Evil Dead. And nothing against the first Evil Dead, but this one is just more fun for me. I do have a lot of fun with this one. Yeah. And that's all it comes to.
The problem is as well for us, this is becoming like a comfort film.
Oh yeah. Then it's the Evil Dead third.
Yeah.
Safe third. Then it's remake.
Yeah.
Then it's Army of Darkness.
I agree. That is the correct ranking.
Thank you. This is a great franchise and I love it to pieces. But I can't wait to see what happens next.
Yeah, it's one that I'm genuinely really excited to see where it goes.
If it goes anywhere, like we'll have to wait another 10 years, I guess. But this has been the Evil Dead franchise, and it's been a joy. But this has been the Evil Dead Rise podcast, and it's been a joy.
Yay!
Thank you, Jade.
You're very welcome.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you again for coming on and talking about a film with me. You're going to be back, I assume.
Yeah, I'd have thought so.
Yeah, cool. But Evil Dead Rise, please let me know what you think. See if you love it as much as I do, as much as we do.
Yeah, we love this film.
See you next time. Evil Dead Rise may have closed the book of the dead for the Evil Dead franchise, but it's Jurassic Park next. Guys, I cannot wait for you to listen to that one either, because it's my good friend Tawny Beard Andy on that one, and we go off. So until then, see you next time, folks, and enjoy yourself.
Bye.